Thank you. Thanks, Owen. Good morning. Welcome to Pilates. We're using the ball today to just as an accessory, but as usual, all rules still apply. So make sure you've got a drink. Make sure you stop if you need to, and just adapt the movements or positions according to how you feel. Especially if you're watching at home and I'm not sure what you've got going on with your body. So we're going to start with a great posture. So feet together, 10 to 2, heels come behind the toes, soften through the knees, and just hold the ball in towards your belly. And relax, take a long breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, so just setting up your body, your system's ready for some movement, and just a couple more times, long, slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Lovely. And then we're just going to open the chest by rolling the shoulders back, but not massively, lifting the collarbone and sending the shoulder blades back and down. So it's not a full roll, it's just a lift, roll, and really open out the chest. And then take a bigger breath and see if that makes a difference. So. Okay, so we're going to soften through the knees, and we're just going to start by coming into a pelvic tilt. So just take the ball a little bit lower, soften the knees again, and then just pelvic tilt. So you might feel the ball moving, and I want you to go in anterior and posterior. So come to the center and then tilt. Come back to the center and tilt the other way. And don't overdo it, just small movements, otherwise you might start to feel a little backache, especially if you've just got out of bed. We need to warm up the joints, especially in the sacroiliac, hips, back, etc., before we make bigger movements. So you might find that you're squeezing your bottom as you lift up and tuck under. Use your breath, try not to hold your breath. So nice gentle movements, smooth, controlled. Smooth and controlled, lovely. And then let's make a circle with the hips. So backwards side, forward side, lovely. Softening through the knees and slow it right down, slowly. If we go too fast, we're just not aware of how our bodies feel. So super slow. Can you go to the outside edges? So really push out, push forwards now, to the side and back. Slowly does it. Just one way for now, and we'll reverse in a minute. Lovely, okay. Small, just small in the reverse direction. Breathe. Smile, it's Monday. Do you love Mondays? I think I like Mondays. I love Mondays actually. Okay, and then let's go to the outside edges. So a bigger movement. All the way back, take your time. Round, back, round. Keep going. Keep going. That's it. Lovely. Okay, hold it there. We're going to just start by making small movements with the ball. So soften through the knees, allow the whole body to come into play. So that figure of 8. So not too wide for now, just in front of the body and maybe to the outside edges of the hips. So swapping the top hand to the side and changing. Now, pressing into the ball with the palms of the hands slightly, so the fingers are free of the ball. You're not gripping with the fingers. So a little bit of tension, a bit of resistance through the arms, bringing in focus to the shoulders. Lovely. Good. Okay, we're going to make it wider. So bigger, wider, bending through the knees, a little bit more, especially as you come to that side. Add a little dip to the side. Keep going. Keep going. Keep breathing. So just warming up the shoulders. Lovely. Good. Excellent. 2 more. Each side. And then we're going up and overhead. So start at the center, take the arms up and over, down to the center, and then back again. Now you can start small. You can start just over the forehead. if you want to. See how you go. And then we make it bigger. So trying to really get some movement through the shoulders into the armpits. So lifting up through the shoulders, through the arms, getting that full range of movement through the shoulders. Lovely. Keep it going. Keep going. Excellent. Keep breathing. This will make you warm. It gets your heart racing a bit faster. Arms above head. So if any time you feel like you're doing too much, take the arms a bit lower. Okay, hold it there. We're just coming shoulder to opposite hip and add in just a little sway, a little swing. So you're lifting up the heel as you come from one side, lifting up the other heel, and again slow it down. So feel that stretch, a little bit of a stretch through the diagonal into the torso, from the shoulder down to the hip. Keep the toes on the floor as you twist. Lovely. Good. Take your eye gaze with you. Excellent. And then we're going to swap sides. So other shoulder down to the hip. Shoulder down to the hip. And this reminds me of Body Vibe, when I used to teach Body Vibe. Excellent. Keep going. So add that heel lift, a little rotation. Keep breathing. Lovely. Couple more. Last one. Then we're coming back to the other side. Back to the other shoulder. This time we're going down and we're reaching right the way up. So slow it down, but it's a bigger movement. So the ball comes almost to the back of the knee. And then up to the side, you twist, rotate the body. Do what you can. Control that movement. Lovely. Keep it going. So a big movement here. Excellent. Keep going. And last one here. Down. Reset to the center. Other side. So just start shoulder to hip. Get that movement. Get the momentum going. Get your balance. And that eye gaze changes then as we take it lower and all the way up. This is your wood chop. Keep going. Lovely. Big reach. Does it feel the same this side? Does it feel uncomfortable? Or are you okay? Okay, fab. And hold it there. Lovely. Just bring that ball in between the knees. Hands on your hips and just bend through those knees and circle again. Circle the hips one way. You need to bend your knees. Otherwise you get no movement through your pelvis. Has that made you a little bit kind of puffy, or are you all right? It's good to feel a little bit good, a little bit kind of, ooh, that got my heart going. Okay, let's go the other way. So moving the knees in a circle. Great. Lovely. And then we're going to drop the ball onto the floor. And we're going to work through ankles, feet, legs, balance, mobility. So, now we used to do this in live classes, and it is, we literally, oops, she says, wobbling. I don't know if you can see me. Can you see my feet? Let me come out of the way of that. Owen, can we lose the email thing, please, so they can see? We're going round the back of the foot. Take the ball all the way around as far as you can without losing it. I'm not a very good teacher, am I? I've got a mat here and it's rolled off the mat. And then all the way to the side. That's it. Yeah, use something to hold on to if you need to. Now, the key here is, I've got a dodgy ankle, so that's my excuse. It's quite weak and painful. spread your toes out, really spread them out, put the weight through the big toe, second toe, and that should give you some stability in the ankle as you move this ball. Now, this leg might start to go, oh, stop, please, it hurts, or it's uncomfortable. Bring, lift. Can you see that difference? So I'm sticking out, I'm resting into my hip. I want you to lift and grow. So you've still got that great posture while you're moving this ball around from the front, around to the side. Oh, it's fine if you wobble, she says. It's fine. Oh my God. And round to the back. Oh, how long since we did this? I have got a good excuse. And this really makes my hip hurt. I've done quite a lot of Pilates, going to Pilates and body balance, so my hips are kind of aching and tweaking. So, but I know it's good for me, but it makes me understand how you might be feeling if you've got uncomfortable joints. Okay, come off that side, wiggle jiggle the hips. And I teach balance, but my balance is rubbish sometimes. I think sometimes it doesn't help either if you're on a mat, so it helps if you're on a hard surface. So other side. So start small. Again, focus on the foot, spread the toes out. I'll take my socks off. Spread the toes out in your shoes, and it will make a difference, hopefully. So we're going to start going around the foot, taking the ball around the back, right the way around the back, and then tucking it along the outside edge of the other foot. Think posture, hold on to something. Yeah, much better this side. See, it is my ankle. Okay, but it just goes to show a slight injury or issue, and I know some of you have major problems with feet, ankles, legs, and it does make a difference, but even more reason for us to practice. So round the outside, and then coming around, and I'm holding on. No, I'm not. Okay, think posture, eye gaze. You don't need to look down. You do with your arms what you need to do to keep balance. They're much better this side. It's like we're little footballers practicing. Right, come out of that, step nice and wide. Oh, how's that? Feel it in your hips. Yeah, wiggle jiggle. Let's come to all four corners. So just bring the ball between your ankles even. Soften through your knees, and let's come into a square with your hips to just wiggle them out. Square, think about all four corners. Just mobilizing, and then opposite side. Side, back, side, forward, side, back. And then let's make that circle again. Just releases off any tension, any discomfort, and back the other way. Okay, now coming on to the other leg, and we're just going to start to slide the ball away. So standing on, this supporting leg is strong, your toes are separated, and we're just going to roll that ball away from you, bend through that knee, and slide it back and come upright. Push away, bend through the knee. Now, really important, if your glutes are not strong, or if you haven't got stability in that leg, knee, what happens is that knee will come in. It will start to come in as you push the ball away. And I don't want to show you because it can injure you. So knee goes over toes and then comes back in. If you need to hold on, do. So you kind of stick your bottom out, sideways it's here, I'll show you. Sideways it's rolling it out, stick your bottom out into a bit of a squat. Let's swap sides. Commonly known as a pistol squat, this one, it's kind of an adapted. Takes a lot of strength through the legs, but actually with the ball we're just going so far. Bending the knee, spread the toes out, coming back. forwards. Ooh. Lovely. And if you want to just stay, you can. Bend the knee, come up, bend the knee, and then come back in. Lovely. Okay, taking the ball into the armpit. So the hand holds the ball, and we're just going to make a step forwards and roll that ball forwards. Step to the centre. As we step back, roll the ball out. So we're going to make like a figure of 8 as we roll forwards and under and back. So forwards, or just make that figure of 8 however you feel. Da-na-na. So it's like a step, and then you can make it more flowy. Step, step, step. Lovely. Step, step. Okay, let's change sides. So quite a simple movement. So start with that roll, but what's happening is your hand is curling through to hold and support the ball. So you're getting shoulder movements and you're working your brain because you're stepping and moving your arms. So, and then make it continuous flow. Continuous. That's it. Good. Lovely. Excellent. And then hold it there. Okay, pop the ball between your knees. We'll come onto the floor shortly. Ball between your knees. And we're going to reach up and then sink. So it's kind of like chair pose. Lift, come onto the toes, balls of the feet, heels, down, arms down. Reach up, come onto the balls of the feet, squeeze through the ball, adjust your feet if you need to. Come down. Can you lift your toes when you're down? So lift and push, pull the belly in towards the spine, roll down, heels, lift. I'm going to take my feet a bit wider. Just walk them out a little bit to see how you get on. Lift and squeeze, press those arms up, fabulous. Sit back, toes lift, push and reach, come back, push and reach, come back, lovely, push and reach, come back, last one, push and reach. Now hold it down, hands on the thighs, and we're going to just come into, or hips, an exaggerated walk. So lifting the knee, the heels, and then we add lift and lower. So lift and lower. You can take your arms forwards if you want to, or hips. So really working through the legs, the thighs, the bottom. Fabulous. Keep going. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hold that ball. March out the heels. And we're just going to work through, I'll give you a break in a second, you can grab a drink in a second, a roll down with an extra. So just take your time. Hold the ball, and I want you to work through the roll down. And even if you just start, drop the head and the shoulders. And then use all those muscles in the belly to pull you up. Get your breath as well. So the hands hang away. Just take your time. And just go a couple of vertebrae at a time. There's no rush. No rush at all. Pulling up. Opening the collarbones as you lift. So we're not going to roll when we lift. We're just opening up the collarbone. So we're trying to make a change there. And if you feel a bit squeaky, a bit tight in one area, for instance, if you can feel it in your mid-back at one point, hold it there. Move, wiggle Whatever you need to do to just release it. Sometimes it helps to just bend the knees and lift. So we're going to be here for a few moments because I want you to just take your time with this. Quite often we just rush through this thinking it's just a way to get down to the floor, but it's not. It's really important that we mobilise the spine, each vertebrae, warm up all that fluid that protects our spine, our vertebrae. Soften the knees as you come down, so try not to keep them locked out. Keep going. How are you doing? When we're down the next time, I want you to just hold it there. Hold it there. Take your weight through the ball onto the hands and then back to the heels. Weight through the hands, so your hands are spread around the ball. And you're just transferring weight, toes to heels, and the weight comes through the ball and then back off. So this means that you're not all the way down. Lovely, keep going. This is quite nice. It should feel quite nice after all that work in standing into hips. It's also a stretch into the hamstring. Spread the toes out. Feel four corners of the feet. Big toe, little toe, outside and inside edges of the heel. And then notice the instep and then the outer edges. And then notice from the ball of the foot across the foot to the little toe. And then notice from the back end of the instep across to the outside of the ankle on the underside of your foot. And then notice the length of the foot from the heel to the middle toe. Okay, hold it there. Soften through the knees. You're going to just keep your hand on one hand on the ball. The other hand is going to lift by the elbow. Lift the elbow. Bring your eye gaze with you. If you can, open out that hand. If not, just make it small for now and we'll add on. Bring the hand down. Rest the head. Other side. Lifting, bracing through the belly. Pulling the core into the spine. Protecting the back. Release the head. Float down, lift the elbows, start to add on that reach and roll down. Rest the head. Lift the arm, eye gaze towards that hand that lifts and down. Rest each time. See if you can rest a little more. Stretch it through those hamstrings a little more. Using your breath to lift and lower. Using the belly, those muscles, those strong muscles in the core. Next time, we're going to lift the arm. And then we're just going to bend at the elbow. Take the hand to your back. Waist behind you. Push through the ball. Lift the shoulder. Eye gaze up towards the ceiling, just opening out the chest here. Lovely. Come back down, other side. So lift the arm, bend through the elbow, hand to the lower back on ribs, and then open out the shoulder. Lift that shoulder up to the ceiling. Keep both feet pinned on the floor. You might find that one foot is trying to take over. Unbend, uncurl the elbow, hands down. Take your time. Roll the ball out. Come onto your knees, hands, sit back in child's pose, send the ball away and rest for a couple of minutes while I just grab a quick drink. I've got such a dry throat. Hold it there. Hold it there. So push the bottom right back. push forwards with the ball. So I want you to get some length through the body. Wiggle through the hips if you need to, through the spine, around the spine. And then just take your time. Come onto all fours. Just leave the ball in between your hands. And let's come into cat-cow stretch. So, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, and just take that weight over your hands, over your wrists, and pull the centre of your palms up. So the pressure is through the fingers, just taking it away from the wrist slightly. And then we're going to come into cow. So I want you to really focus, push the shoulders away from the ears, pull the belly in towards the spine, drop the chin, drop the head, not drop the chin. Chin comes towards the chest as you drop the crown of the head, and then purposely lift and tuck the tail under, which pulls the belly in. So really focus on pulling the belly in and up. You feel the ribs. Breathe. Feel that stretch across the shoulder blades. Dangle the head. The head's heavy. Let it be heavy. And then rest. Slowly come into neutral. Send that weight forwards again slightly so you're on the hands. You're not sitting backwards into the knees and the feet. Then we come into the cat. So we start to lift the chin, lift the bottom, breathe, kind of dropping the belly, but still maintaining that contraction to protect the back. And then coming back to neutral. Slowly, slowly. Let's come back into cow pose. So dangling the head. Think crown of head towards the floor. And then tuck the chin, keep the weight forwards, tuck the bottom under, actively pull under. Think about those pelvic floor muscles too here. Really focus on them, pull that belly in. Keep breathing, that stretch across the shoulder blades and from the top of the head right the way down to the coccyx. Come to neutral, into cat. And then you feel free to just wiggle your bottom. Just gives you some more movement through the lower back into the hips. Lovely. Good, good. And then we're going to come onto our knees, roll out through the wrists. You think your wrists should be getting used to this, don't you? But do they? I don't think so. Okay, let's come into that lovely stretch. So it's lovely, isn't it? So just pulling the fingers, dropping the fingers down towards the floor and gently squeezing the fingers in towards your body. And then releasing. Open the hand, open the fingers and give them a little open and close. Other side, roll if you want to. Fingers drop towards the floor, pulling gently the fingers towards the body. Feeling that stretch over the top of the wrist into the back of the hand, into the arms. Releasing, fingers open and close. Lovely. And then just roll one more time, one way, and then back the other way. Excellent. Okay, we're going to come onto our bellies, but we're going to pop the ball in between your ankles. So just set up to start with. Ball between ankles, roll down onto your belly. And just let the feet drop towards the floor. Now, we're going to start with the glute squeeze, which we've done quite often. So squeeze the bottom, release. Squeeze the bottom, release. And quite often we have the feet wide here, but obviously they're squeezing the ball to just keep it in place. Lovely, good. And then we're going to start, we need to drop our head. So drop your head onto your hands, squeeze the ball between the ankles, brace through the belly, so you almost lift the waist up a little bit, and then squeeze the ball between the ankles and lift the heels towards the bottom. Keep that tension on, and it might feel like it's going side to side. Point the toes at the bottom. Point the toes, keep the toes pointed, squeeze, and give me another squeeze when you get towards the bottom. Lower down. Try to get evenness through that movement. Squeeze. And when you get to the bottom, big squeeze. Can you get the ball to touch your bottom? No way. That's what we're aiming for. So a big stretch of the quads, tightening of the hamstrings, squeeze the bottom, lift the knees slightly if you can. Good lift. Okay, this time as we lift the toes off, we flex the feet. So flex at the ankles, squeeze, squeeze, lower down as you come down, point the toes. Lift, flex the ankles, squeeze, squeeze the thighs. Lower down, flex the ankles, lower down, and one more time. Flex the ankles, keep the heels there, relax the toes, so relax the feet, and then we're going to lift, squeeze the bottom, squeeze the glutes, lift the heels, lift the legs off, lift the knees off, so you're pushing the heels towards the ceiling, slowly, so squeeze, release, squeeze, release. So feet are just relaxed for now, and then I want you to flex through the ankles and try the same movement. Squeeze, 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 and one more. Good. Pop those feet down, and then we're going to take hold of the ball. So the ball is in front of you. Both hands are on the ball, and we're just going to slide the ball away, drop the head, forehead towards the floor. Both hands pull back on the ball as we squeeze the bottom, lift the chest, and send the ball away. Now use your breath. If you can breathe in on the way out, and then breathe out. So take a breath. As you bring the ball in towards your body, you breathe out. Take your time. Just come as far as is comfortable for you. Good, good. Couple more. Lovely, last one. Excellent. Send the ball away. Just relax, head down. And then just some shoulder work. So just quickly, not very many here, not quickly, just not very many. So lifting the chest slightly off the floor, we're going to take the ball in one hand. We're going to take the ball around the side. The other hand comes around the back, takes hold of the ball, semicircle around to the centre. Then we come into the other opposite direction. So arm comes around, other arm comes around to take hold. At the top, you can rest and lower the head. So it's a glute squeeze, squeeze through the core, lifting the chest, eye gaze neutral. So try not to lift the chin too much. And rest down each time. Lovely. Excellent. Last one each side, maybe. Excellent. And then rest. Come into child's pose. Just to stretch out. Not everybody likes that back extension. So just into that stretch out. Or you can come into the cow again. Focusing on the cow. So arching the back, rounding through the back. Fabulous. Okay. So next one is we're coming into 4-point kneeling. The ball is between the knees. And we're just going to come onto our hands. So it's not wrist work, it's core work, this one. So again, weight through the wrists, hands, centre of the palms, pull. Put that weight through the middle finger. Curl the toes under. Sorry ladies, we're going to hover. So pull the belly into the spine. Relax the shoulders, but strong, so push them away from the ears. Take the weight through the toes, lift the knees and breathe. Come down at any point, but if you can hold there, it's really good for you. So pull those muscles into the belly. Breathe, hover. Okay, you can drop and come back into it. I'm going to take my weight back and forwards, back and forwards, back, and one more, and then come back down, sit on your heels, roll through the wrists. Are we all right? Is that hideous? Is that okay? Can we do one more? So options, you can stay on all fours. You can stay just with your feet curled, weight forwards, or you can come into hover and just come out of it whenever you need to. Okay, so most importantly, shoulders away. Take your feet, your knees under your hips, pull belly into spine, and then lift. And just breathe. Eye gaze is down to the floor, so spine is neutral. Really strong here. Belly in. And then I'm going to add that forwards, back for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, sit back. Oh, that made me hot. Did it make you hot? Oh. Well done. Fabulous. We're going to have a little sit down. I was going to do mermaid, but I think you've done enough wrists. So let's come onto your backs. Let's come onto our backs and come into bridges, shall we? So roll onto your backs, hug your knees into your chest, grab a drink if you want. Have your ball close by, that's it, hug your knees in. That's it, little roll around, side to side. Okay, so we're going to bring those heels to the bottom. And then we're going to put both feet on the balls. I know you hate this. I know you do. What happens is it tries to force your knees out. And in a bridge, we need to keep our knees in parallel. So that's quite difficult on its own. And then we add in a bridge, which makes it even more difficult. So let's start with a pelvic tilt. And sometimes it helps to put your hand on your belly. And we just lift and roll, tilt, neutral, tilt. So anterior, posterior tilt. So think about your pelvic floor, not just think about it, actively engage. Make sure your feet kind of feel even, and you kind of have to curl your toes around, so you might get a little bit of cramp. And then we start to lift, peel the bottom up, and then you might get the shaky shakes as your feet try to steady you just a little way. We're not coming up to a full bridge. I want you to take your time and work through that bridge, lifting, lowering, spine presses on the floor as you peel up and lowers and just gently rolls back onto the floor. Take your time. And if you get cramp, feel free to have a rest out. Coming up, up, up a little bit higher each time. Rolling back down. So really actively engaging the core as your feet are wobbling. It's causing imbalances. If you can get to the top of your shoulders, big squeeze up through the bottom, hips, push up, roll down. Let's go one more time. So adjust the feet on the ball, big squeeze up, squeeze the bottom, lift the hips, lower down. Oh, hug one knee in, just one knee. Keep the other foot on the ball. Okay, we're going to send that leg away up to the ceiling. We're going to stretch the hamstring because that might have given you a little bit of cramp. Point the toes, flex, point. Keep them pointed, just rest the foot. Draw that leg a little bit closer if you can. It's a nice straight leg. And then let's change sides. So bend that other knee into the chest, give it a little hug in. And then we straighten the leg, point the toes, flex, point, flex, adjust the foot on the other leg and then relax the toes off. Draw that leg a little bit closer to your body. Lovely. Okay, we're going to bring that ball under your bottom. So it kind of sits at your coccyx, but slightly above. So adjust it because we're going to lift the legs, and we don't want it to cause an arch in your back. We want it to support your pelvis. So take a moment, maybe lift one leg and then the other, see how it feels, and drop down and adjust, okay? And try and get it central. Pin those shoulder blades to the floor. And then take the arms out wide. And palms down is more stable. Palms up, less stable. Let's start palms down for now. And we're going to come into tabletop. So one leg lifts and then the other. And just breathe. And I always think tabletop is easier with a ball. It just brings you into that natural pelvic tilt without putting too much pressure on your spine. So think 90-90, and although it feels different, you still need 90 in the hips, 90 in the knees, and we're going to keep that 90 in the knees, really important. So I don't want you to bring the heel to the bottom, I want you to keep that 90. So we're going to take one leg and we're going to keep that 90, hinge from the hip, tap down towards the floor, slowly bring that leg back to the starting position. Other leg. So pull the belly into the spine again, really brace through the core. Bring that leg back up. So slowly, one at a time. Really focusing on that 90 at the knees, because otherwise you're going to struggle, or it's just not, you might struggle to get your foot down. But what I want is, if you're keeping that 90, you're getting a bigger stretch through the hips, as you've got to go further down to land your foot, to tap that foot. Okay, if you want to, you can turn your palms up. That doesn't feel too bad. If you're pretty confident, you could bring your hands in by your sides, hover your hands, hover, or you could take your hands to the opposite shoulders, elbows lift towards the ceiling, and feel a bigger wobble. Whoop. Oh. That's fine, it's good. What we're doing here is we're increasing the tension through the core as your body, your core muscles try to stabilize you, stop you from wobbling. So take your time. That's it. How's it feeling? And then the last one, we're going to hug, or you're going to bring the knees into the chest. You might not want to hug them. You might want to take your hands wide. And I like to cross my feet here. It just means that I can get my knees in a bit closer. And just give your hips a rest. Okay, we're coming back to tabletop. So one leg, other leg. This time we're going to take our hands wide and we're going to tap one leg down. We're going to slide, lift the toes up to the ceiling towards your body, back to neutral, bend that knee. So it's a tap, keep that 90, slide, big kick, center, slide, kick. So you're trying to bring that leg closer to your body with a little bit of momentum. Lovely. Good. Push and kick. Push and kick. Push and kick. Lovely. Last one. Okay. Holding the legs in tabletop, we're going to extend one leg. Now, you need to keep the one leg with the knee bent still. And we're going to drop the other leg into a circle, outsides, come back to center, reverse direction. So a single leg circle. Trying to keep still. Use your arms, the other leg. You can pop your hand on the other leg if you want to support it. With just one arm out to center. Single leg circle. So I'm quite high. My leg is quite high in the air. If you wanted to drop it, you could. Makes it harder. And if you wanted to drop it really low, you could. Okay, let's work on the other leg. So, steady the other leg, hand on the thigh if you want to, or just to your side. Straighten off the other leg. Single leg circle. One way, and then the other way. If you want to, you can cross your hands again onto the opposite shoulders, but that means that actually the other leg tries to do more work, and we don't want that. Lower the leg down if you're comfortable with this. See how you go. Remember, trying to keep that other leg nice and steady. How are your hips feeling? You can work your way back up if you want to. And then bring that leg in. Bring those knees in. Fabulous. Just let the hips rest and relax. It's quite strong through the fronts of the hips, the hip flexors. Okay, little scissor movement. So we're going to bring one leg in towards the body, other leg goes away, and then we swap. So give a little bounce, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you want to, you can lift your shoulders off the floor, 1, 2, elbows wide, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 more, 1, 2, 1, 2. Feet come in, lift the bottom, just come into like an adapted bridge, just squeezing the hips upwards, squeezing the bottom, resting out, stretching through. If you want to just lift the ball up a little bit so it's into your mid back, and then straighten the legs off, and then you get a bigger stretch. Lovely. And then we're going to come into seated position. You're nearly done, ladies. Take your time to come up. Okay, so we're going to just pop the ball underneath your coccyx, really. So it just supports you, it brings you into that little tilt. So you're not having to force yourself to sit up. So it's quite nice, I like this position. and just adjust so that you are sitting forwards, which means that we stretch into the backs of the hips already. So just settle here, take your feet a little bit wider or wherever is comfortable. Relax through the toes, through the feet. And then lift through the belly, lift through the shoulder blades. And then we're going to take the arms wide. Relax, drop the shoulders, and we're just going to take a rotation to one side. Keep both the sit bones on the floor. So it might mean that you don't go so far around. Palms are facing down. And just come to center. So reset in the center every time. Eye gaze follows the thumb of the arm that goes behind you. So use your breath, breathing out as you take that hand behind you, breathing in at the center. So what I want is, I don't want you to curve, I don't want you to roll forward. So that's why in the center we reset and lift those collarbones. And if it means you drop the arms a little bit, if you need to drop them a bit lower, that's fine. Relax the toes, relax the thighs. Lovely. Keep going. And then hold there. We're going to change. Rest the shoulders, rest the arms. Just give them a little roll. One and then the other. Same movement, palms are up. Drop the shoulders. Turn into the side. Both sit bones stay on the floor. And to center. Breathe in. As you turn around, we breathe out. It's that rotation. As you breathe out, it empties the lungs. Gives you a little bit more room to move. Reset in the center, bring your arms down if it's too much. Lovely. And then rest those arms down. Roll through the shoulders. Okay, coming into saw, arms come wide, and we take that rotation, the back of the hand reaches to the outside of the foot, the other hand presses away behind you, come back to center, take a breath in, exhale. Lovely, keep going. Last one each side. And then hold in the center. Just walk the hands forwards. Rest. Try to keep the chin lifted, the chest lifted. Try not to curl here. I just want you to feel a stretch into the backs of the hips again and into the hamstrings maybe, but mostly into the backs of the hips. Okay, we're going to walk hands to one leg and just allow the body to fall closer towards the thigh, the knee. Relax the toes, relax the feet, come to center, fold forwards a little bit more. Walk to the other side, lift the chest, allow the body to drop. Breathe. Come back to center, take a breath in and breathe. Keep your chest lifted and then round the spine, drop the head. And then just walk the hands up. And let's just stay here while we just have a couple of minutes of breath. You can cross your legs, you can take your hands behind, but it's quite a nice position to be supported by the ball. So just close your eyes, hands are on your thighs, palms are facing up. Roll the shoulders back or just open the chest, the shoulder blades. Breathe into the belly. Long breath in and let it go all the way out. breathing all the way in. And out. This time breathe into the sides, into that lateral breathing. So into the sides and the front of the ribs. And one more. And relax the hands wherever you want them to be. Just focus on the face, the muscles in the face and the breathing. Feel the breath in the back of the throat. As you feel the temples relax and rest. The forehead, the eyebrows, the cheekbones. The jaw rests and relaxes and the teeth separate slightly. And the tongue just rests on the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. And relax through the throat. Down across the top of the shoulders. And we just breathe and feel our bodies, be aware of our bodies. How do they feel? Do you feel more stretched, more mobile, maybe warmer? Or you might feel a little achy. Hopefully that will subside. But it's set you up for the day. Ready to move and get on with the day, whatever that may bring. You've looked after your body today. So be grateful to yourself for that. Take a long breath in and a sigh out. And then roll through the shoulders. Open the eyes. Take your hands up, over, hands together, down. One more. Circle through the arms. Hands together. Bring them down and give yourself a little round of applause. Both ways, obviously. Well done. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back for Pilates next on Friday or Pilates next week.